Hey everybody, it's me, Chris. I'm back over here in the kitchen. I got Jack helping me out. And man, do we have a good one for you today. Today we're making zucchini pancakes. Some people call them zucchini fritters, but we call them zucchini pancakes. And you know, I hadn't had these in a while. We were visiting my Aunt Gloria last year in the summer, and she made them for us, and they were just spectacular. So we've been making them ever since, and Jack absolutely loves them as well. So we're gonna show you how to do it. All right, guys, and here's the recipe if you want to take a screenshot. All right, so take a look at the ingredients we got here. All right, so I have my zucchini. This is 3 pounds here. And you want a nice, firm, green zucchini. You want to look at the end here. Make sure it's not mushy and rotten. All right, so these are really nice. I got some diced red onion and some garlic cloves. Now, this is optional, but it's half a cup of diced red onion. The garlic cloves I left whole. I just smashed them a little and took the paper off. I want a mild garlic flavor, so I didn't want to chop them too fine. I have here 1.5 cups of complete pancake mix. That's the kind you just add water to. 3/4 cup grated cheese, and I have a blend here of Parmesan and Pecorino Romano. I got 1 cup shredded mozzarella. I got 3 large eggs, a little bit of chopped parsley, a couple tablespoons. And then I got here some extra virgin olive oil. You could use canola, or I have some avocado oil, and I'm gonna mix the two to fry these. You could just use olive oil, that's perfectly fine. And then I'm gonna season these. I got salt and pepper, of course, and then I like to use a little of this garlic salt. I have a little Italian seasoning, and you could use whatever you like. You could do onion powder, garlic powder. You kick this up any way you want. All right, guys, so the first thing we gotta do is we have to shred our zucchini, and I'm using this box grater. It's a stainless steel one. I'm using the large side. You could use a food processor too. It makes it go quicker. I do that sometimes if I'm making a big batch, but just cut the end off there. I'm gonna leave this side on so that when I get to the end, I don't have to hurt my fingers. And what I like to do is just go right in the bowl here. I'm just gonna grate it right into the bowl. All right, and you see how you can hold on to that stem once you get to the end. This way you don't hurt your fingers. All right, guys, so this is what it looks like. My zucchini's all been grated, and now there's a ton of water in here. So we want to get most of that out. And the easiest way to do that, I found, is to season this with some kosher salt and let it sit for a while you get your other ingredients ready. And then we'll come back later and squeeze it out. All right, I forgot to mention, I did wash and dry my zucchini before I did this. Make sure it's nice and clean. All right, so we got to get this moisture out. So I'm going to take some kosher salt, and I'm going to do probably like 2, maybe 3 big pinches, all right? At least a couple teaspoons, 2 to 3 teaspoons of kosher salt. And a lot of the salt will get squeezed out later when we drain this. But you're going to just go in and just give this a mix. Get that salt mixed in evenly with all these shaved zucchini. And then we're going to let this sit while we get the rest of our ingredients done. So for my onions and garlic, I got my pan heating up here. I'm just going to put them right in. And all I want to do is just saute these for a few minutes till the onions start to soften. Get these going, and maybe just a little pinch of kosher salt with some fresh cracked pepper. And again, you know what? That's called layering in the seasoning. So we season now while we cook these onions, and then we'll season again when we make the batter for these pancakes. Okay, so my onions have softened, and I don't want this garlic. I'm just going to take the onions out. I'm going to transfer them to another large mixing bowl, and I'm just going to let them cool for a minute. All right, guys, now it's time to make our batter. So I like to start by putting in the eggs first. All right, and I also like to use a whisk to begin with. I want to make sure when I get this batter going that I don't have any lumps, all right? So I'm just going to whisk up my eggs with the onions, and then I'll add in my cheese. And again, that's 3/4 of a cup, but you could adjust it up or down, depends on what you like. So that looks good. And then I want to add my pancake mix. Get this combined. All right, now my water. I got 3/4 of a cup. Scrape down the bowl. All right, so now that this is nicely mixed, I'm going to throw in my parsley, and I'm going to throw in my shredded mozzarella, and I'm going to use my spatula, just scrape down the bowl and give this a good mix. Almost there, and then look at this batter. Looks nice, nice thick. Got the cheese in there. And now I gotta get my zucchini. So look what the salt does. If you can see that. You can see all that water that the salt extracted out just from about 10-15 minutes of sitting there. All right, look at this. You could see all this water. And then what I like to do, now you could use a towel or a cheesecloth and really strain this. But what I found is like, it really comes out better for me if you leave a little bit of the water in. So just take a little handful at a time and squeeze it out to about there. All right, and then you could add it right into your base. So I'm just gonna keep doing this till I get all my zucchini. I think I got it all, a few strands left, but look at all the water left behind. It's probably 3 cups of water there, 2-3 cups of water. All right, so now all we do is just give this a mix, and you can see how much less this fills the bowl. I mean, this zucchini holds a lot of water. And here's where, you know, it's very forgiving, because if it's too wet, you could just add a little bit more of that pancake mix. If it's too dry, you could just add a little bit of water. So you could really get it to the consistency that you want. All right, and I think this is just right. I like this. It's a nice, thick consistency. You see it'll hold together, but it's not too watery at all. The last thing we do before we get ready to fry these is just season them. Now, I like this garlic salt. My Aunt Gloria uses it in hers, and it just gives it a great flavor. And, you know, I recommend, I'm going to use a little Italian seasoning too. But I recommend if you're doing this for the first time, you really want to season it to your taste. And then take a little bit after you mix it, just like this. Put it in a small skillet and fry it up and see how it tastes. And get it seasoned the way you like it. And, you know, because there is salt, we salted this to take out the water. Most of that salt got squeezed out, but some of it stays. And then you also have the saltiness from the cheeses. So you really got to do this a few times till you get it the way you like it. But, you know, start with less and then add more. And like I said, just cook yourself a little test one, see how it tastes like you do with meatballs. And you'll get it the way you like it. But this looks good. I'm going to get set up and we'll get ready to fry these. You could use your favorite skillet, whatever you fry in. Non-stick would be okay. I have this shallow cast iron griddle pan, and I'm going to use a combo here. I'm going to use some canola oil, or you could use avocado oil. And I just want enough to coat the bottom, but I'm going to do a blend. So I'm going to use that because it's a higher smoke point. It won't burn. And then I'm going to add some extra virgin olive oil, and that's really going to give this a nice flavor. So just enough to coat the bottom. Maybe not even 1/4 of an inch, but you know, you use however much oil you like. Make sure you have a nice pan set up. I like to line it with foil and some paper towel so I can drain the excess grease. All right, now what I like to do, I like to use these thermometers to make sure you get it to like at least, you want to be around 350, and you know it's ready to fry. Here, and just drop these in. Just pat them down a little bit. And the key here, you want to make sure you just have room to flip them. Don't put them too close together. All right, I like to rotate these around a little. Just want to make sure that they're cooking evenly. I'll usually rotate them before I flip them. Just a couple minutes. I'm going to use a fork to help me. But once these look like they're nice and golden brown on the bottom, the sides are starting to brown. I can see some bubbles. I think these are ready to flip. So I'm going to use my fork to help me. Oh yeah, look at that. Perfect. Just going to give these all a flip. And then depending how big your pancakes are, about 2 to 3 minutes per side. These look done. So I'm just going to take them and transfer them. And look, I'm just going to put them right on the paper towel to drain. All right, guys, so my zucchini pancakes are all fried, and this is what it looks like. And don't these look great? And then one thing I wanted to mention, don't forget, as you fry these, you're going to need to keep your oil out because you're going to need to add a little bit more as you go. You'll lose some of that oil as you go through the batches. So all we got to do now is try these. All right, Jack, time to try these. And hey, if you're having trouble getting your kids to eat vegetables, I got the cure right here. You want to make these zucchini pancakes. And just take a look at this. Look how great that looks. All right, Jack. Cheers.
Cheers.
Man, these came out great, Jack. I think Aunt Gloria will be very proud of us. Hey, guys, you got to try these. You got to make these zucchini pancakes. Or you can call them zucchini fritters. You call them whatever you want. But you got to make them. What do you think, bud? Anything you want to say?
Maybe please like, subscribe, share, and hit the notification button. It really supports our channel.
Thanks, everybody. We'll see you on the next one.